My question is also to the leader of the government of the Senate. And leader, for this question, I don't think there's anybody more knowledgeable than you in our country about foreign affairs. The minister, in her speech on June 6th in the House of Commons, Minister Freeland gave a speech where she states that Canada must pursue foreign policy and that advocates cooperation on a multitude of fronts, such as supporting a rules-based international order, investing in our military, and strengthening trading relationships. I noted that she focused her attention on our Western allies such as NATO, EU, NAFTA, but she hardly mentions the two most important institutions that we have always worked with, and that is the Commonwealth and the La Francophonie. Leader, I want to ask you, has our focus changed? Are we going to be not as much working with the Commonwealth and the La Francophonie? What is our focus now?
Senator Harder.
I thank the honourable senator for her question. The references made to multilateral institutions is not an exhaustive list. It is representative of the government's participation in multilateral organizations. Certainly the Prime Minister's participation in earlier this year, or last year, in the Francophone Summit in Madagascar is an indication of the Prime Minister and his government's commitment to La Francophonie. The support for and dedication of the new Secretary General of La Francophonie in the person of the Right Honourable Michael Jean is an expression of Canada's commitment to multilateralism. And similarly, with respect to the Commonwealth heads of government, which the Prime Minister has and will continue to participate in. I think the context of the Minister's excellent foreign policy outline describes the appropriate Canadian participation in this wide range of multilateral institutions, and her vigorous defense of multilateralism is at the heart of Canada's foreign policy interests.
Senator Jaffer.
Supplementary. Leader, sorry. I think I almost memorized that speech. And I'm the most disappointed person because when the new government came in, we said Canada was back. That was not a speech of Canada is back. That was a speech of Canada working with Western allies, increasing our military, and doing trade. That was not a speech of Canada is back. One of the things that really, really affected and I'm convinced that that's not a speech of Canada is back, is you don't even mention the African Union. We do so much work with the African. That's not even an organization, a multilateral organization that the minister deemed necessary to mention. Is Canada back?
Senator Harder.
I thank the honourable senator for her question and her ongoing interest in these matters of foreign policy. I read the speech differently, and I want to, in response, speak directly to a quote from the speech where the minister reviews the previous challenges of earlier generations with respect to the threats they faced and the challenges that Canada faces as those challenges themselves have altered. And then she went on to say the international order of an earlier generation that the earlier generation built faces two new challenges, both unprecedented. What's the first one? The rapid emergence of the global South and Asia, and the need to integrate these countries into the world's economic and political system in a way that is additive, that preserves the best of the old order that preceded their rise, and that addresses the existential threat of climate change. This is a problem that simply cannot be solved by nations working alone. We must work together. I focus these remarks on the development of a post-war international order, a process that was led primarily by the Atlantic powers of North America and Western Europe, but we recognize that global balance of power has changed greatly since then, and we will continue to evolve as more nations prosper. And the speech goes on to reference the role of the G20 and other new models of multilateralism that are both referenced and not, including specific references to the Latin American countries, the Caribbean, Africa, and Asia, which are on the ascent.